Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am very honored and delighted to be talking to you today. Let me see if this works. Oops. Sorry about that. When you hear the word zombie, you might imagine something like this. No? Maybe something a bit scarier, like this. These are made by my colleagues using third-party AI, generative AI tools. And before I talk about what I mean by the zombies, I would like to talk about the Great Noto Peninsula earthquake and the mis- and disinformation that followed. On January 1st of this year at 4:10 p.m., a massive earthquake hit Japan. It was the first day of the Year of the Dragon when families and friends were gathered. Noto Peninsula is part of Ishikawa Prefecture, which is the northern part of Honshu, which is the main island of Japan. The magnitude was 7.6, which is massive, and 281 people lost their lives. As Japan's sole public broadcaster, NHK immediately started airing from the devastated area. However, what we found out was that our broadcasting equipment was severely damaged, and people in the area could not receive our airwaves. So what became very important was digital format news and old-fashioned radio. These are some of the screenshots from our smartphone. The ones in black are push notifications on approaching tsunami, which happens pretty often in Japan. We used our website and app to notify the audience, and this was effective in reaching our audience to share information on blackouts, water shortage, and road blockades. We've been talking about social media this morning, and social media was obviously very important to convey our message to the public. What you need to know about Japan, the Japanese media, the social media landscape, is that Twitter X is very ubiquitous. Of course, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube are important tools. However, Twitter X is the most widely used. According to Linda Yaccarino, the CEO of X, over 40 million people per day use X. That is 1 in 3 members of the Japanese population. And while Twitter X was an important tool to reach our audience, it was also a means for spread of mis- and disinformation. These are some of the false information that we debunked during the first couple of weeks after the Noto earthquake. Something typical goes like this. Social media posts falsely claim the earthquake was man-made. We saw 250,000 posts on the artificial earthquake hypothesis by the end of the second day. And some featured videos from past events, such as a meteorological agency press conference about seismic activity following a North Korean nuclear test, which is not true. We also engaged in pre-bunking. We called attention to false information regarding the quake and tsunami that people might see on their smartphones from day one. From past reporting on gubernatorial elections, we knew that pre-bunking would be very effective. I strongly believe that it's better to be prepared than to scramble to find credible information after the fact. Which brings me to the title of my presentation, The Rise of Impression Zombies. So what do I mean by impression zombies? We define impression zombies as the following: accounts that swarm around posts going viral by copying, stealing the message, and/or reposting meaningless words to gain impressions, that is, to monetize on social media. In Japan, we call these the zombie because zombies tend to come in herds out of nowhere with no spirit or energy. They just kind of float around. I'm told by my American friends that this will be called content farming, or MFA, made for advertising in the US. Impression zombies became a huge problem through the spread of mis and disinformation following the Noto earthquake. Fake SOS rescue calls surged due to revenue sharing incentives. Such posts could affect rescue activities and lead to confusion during evacuations, which actually happened. One important element is that these were in Japanese, which appear to be trustworthy for the Japanese public. Some posts were from impression zombies in Japanese from accounts with profiles in Urdu, Hindi, and Arabic. Many were copy and paste, and many had very strange Japanese. My colleagues created a spreadsheet of addresses from rescue requests on Twitter X. We found that some do not even exist. We learned that some of the posts were from foreign countries for monetization purposes. You'll love the title. We did a subsequent article. The title was, "I Used to Be a Zombie." We tracked 24 accounts in Japanese by these impression zombies on a weekly basis. 936 posts, the bar in orange, we found 936 posts in the first week of January 2024. In a particular case, we found a gentleman in Pakistan who confirmed to us using footage from the 2011 earthquake, which I will talk about, as footage from the Noto earthquake to monetize. This gentleman claimed that he was paid $75 by gaining impressions. We knew that these fake tweets were coming because it happened before. It happened in 2011 when the Great East Japan earthquake and the nuclear plant accident in Fukushima happened. NHK faced challenges concerning information on social media, including untrue and sometimes very harmful advice with regards to medical treatment to offset the effects of radiation from the Fukushima nuclear accident. So we knew it was coming. This inspired us to launch a social media watch project called SALT, the Social Listening Team. This was launched in October 2013. The team monitors Twitter X, Facebook 24/7, and the monitoring is done by mostly students interested in journalism who are much more attentive to social media than I am, and who usually consume news through social media rather than television. Once they find dubious or suspicious information on social media, they would pass it down onto the beat reporters. And reporters do what reporters are supposed to do. They contact their sources, they verify the information, they fact check. And I have a 2-minute video.
Hi, this is Daiki Mai, a university student in Tokyo. Today, I would like to present ASSAULT, the social listening team, where I work as a student researcher.
Located at the center of NHK's news floor, we work in 3 shifts and operate 24/7. This is how SALT works. The top screen shows information on disasters, accidents, and incidents that are circulating on social media. These are automatically coded by AI system. We, humans, verify the location, judge the value, and of course check the credibility of the information. These decisions are yet to be done by AI. Once we believe there is ample information, we pass this on to reporters working on the news floor. I am always careful that the information is newsworthy and obviously not fake.
Newsrooms are always busy. If we report everything we catch from social media, information will be floated, right? That's why we need to extract and report only the information that might be newsworthy.
The SALT also catches trends, flames, and fake information flowing through social media. These are also important targets for us.
Let me show you a recent example. We caught wind of information that eating a loquat seed was an effective measure for cancer. An NHK reporter who covers the medical field gathered further information and denied this, which became significant news in Japan.
As for myself, I hope to strengthen the bond between the scholars and news media and build further creative journalism.
Thank you. That was video from our SALT team. During the Noto earthquake, we found that it wasn't necessarily the state-of-the-art generative AI images or footage that were trying to fool us. Images or videos from past earthquakes were more the norm. Another challenge that we face, and I'm sure that you all face, is imposter content for credible media. We found NHK imposter content on the Noto earthquake and nuclear reactor. We also found in April an NHK imposter content on a high-ranking North Korean official being a well-known Japanese woman abducted from Japan, which is not true. Allowing NHK imposter content on geopolitical issues to go viral would create a nightmare given the current tensions in East Asia. As in so many other countries, in Japan, smartphones are more important tools than television to consume news for many. I believe that we need to catch up with the new technology and we need to meet today's audience where they are. Having said that, in Japan, we have a very unique challenge. 30% of our population is over 65. 10% of the population is over 80. And while many elderly people will use their smartphone to video chat with their grandchildren, like my parents do, some are indifferent to new technology. As a public broadcaster, we need to be mindful of two very different cohorts. One has limited appetite for television and uses smartphones for news. The other receives daily information basically from television. But whatever the device, we must deliver accurate and independent news in a timely manner. And of course, the AI challenge. On the left-hand side, you'll see AI-generated fake images of floods. On the right-hand side, you'll see news of a fake video of Prime Minister Kishida using graphic language, which I'm sure he does not use, and it's difficult to differentiate fact from fiction. The overall topic of the session is the future of news, and if I can state the obvious, the future of news is trust. Debunking false news is playing whack-a-mole. Our top priority is to make journalism products valuable enough that people seek them out daily. Large natural disasters like the one that happened in Japan earlier this week test us to the limit and differentiate us from other media. Of course, using new technology is important to maintain trust. NHK is part of the CAI, it's also part of the C2PA. We are trying new technologies to maintain trust. NHK will be celebrating its 100th year of broadcasting next year. We started radio broadcasting in March 1925. This was against the backdrop of the Great Kanto earthquake. And 100 years ago, that's the original photo on the right bottom side. That's the original photo. Smoke was added, and then poof, fake photo. I think it's fascinating that fake photos and conspiracy theories were circulating 100 years ago. Can I end my presentation? I have 1 minute and 20 seconds to go. We need to remain a trustworthy news organization to stay relevant and to survive another 100 years. And this is another zombie that my colleague made. We cannot allow the zombies to roam around. Thank you for your attention.